trophy, as it'll be the AFC champion Houston Texans taking on the NFC champions, the Dallas Cowboys. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin along with the man who has had to stick with me all season long, Charles Davis. And Charles, the anticipation, the hype, the media coverage, all in the rearview mirror now. We can finally get down to playing some football.
Yeah, don't worry about that, partner. I'll ride or die with you anytime. You know that. But here's the best thing about this. Everyone talks about trying to keep things normal as they approach for Super Bowl. There is no such thing as normal. The pageantry, the hype, all of that is more intense than anyone could ever imagine. What you're trying to do is embrace it in one way and make sure it doesn't totally knock you off your game. That's why the night before the big one, teams often switch hotels, try and give those guys that last chance to breathe a little bit before they go out and play.
No running room for Zeke on first down, as he'll maybe get a yard out of that. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play at second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because when they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. Out of the gun, Bridgewater. Got him in. He finds Sanders. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And they convert on 3rd with a gain of 22.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Play action now. Bridgewater. Dancing to his left. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. The escapability in evidence there as that one good for 15 and a first.
I think the last two plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those two that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. That throw good for 4. It's second down. On second down, Elliott. And a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Brings up 3rd and 1.
They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. Got what they needed there. The drive continues with a 9-yard pickup. So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10. And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll take this down for about 4 yards, down to the 15.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And here he'll get it down to the 7. 9 yards on the play there, and it'll set him up 1st and goal.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, it has to be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone.
Now Elliott. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
Leads to 2nd and goal at the Texans' 6-yard line.
They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. Bridgewater now. And that's Elliott, complete. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Only able to pick up 2, and that leads us to 3rd and goal. Now they've gotten it to the 4 on this opening drive, but now they face a 3rd and goal. Here's Elliott, and this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th. The kick by Fairbairn is good. Every possession in the postseason magnified. And look, it's just the opening drive. They didn't get the touchdown they wanted, but at least they got on the board.
They got on the board. They've got their home crowd into it as well. And remember, in the playoffs, the game slows down a little bit, so every point is precious.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
At their own 26-yard line.
Check, Mike 54. Mike 54. Down to lose 1.
On the ground, this is Derrick Henry. He'll have a first down past the 40. And he'll get this all the way up to the 42-yard line. 16 yards on that one, and also a Texan first down.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. He's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
The first carry now. This is Johnson. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
This is a little bit like baseball here. Strong up the middle. Both sides want to be that. In this case, the offense ends up winning the ultimate battle.
And those big runs between the tackles, that's a little deflating for a defense, isn't it?
It really is, because that's where your strength's supposed to be. You're supposed to be in a spot where they can't make that yardage there. You're supposed to send them outside. Not in this case.
On second down, it's Henry, and they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports.
Check, walk 54, walk 54.
A first down carry here for Johnson. And down inside the 15 he goes. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for them. Show them that you're supposed to get the football.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Henry running right. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. That leads us to a 1st and goal. It's a pickup of 8.
Some good, strong running right there. Some power and some explosiveness just about got him into the end zone.
Trying to punch it in with Henry. And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. With the first touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Texans have taken the lead.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Joseph now to kick this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Now he dumps this off over the middle. A gain of 4 on the play, and it'll be 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays.
And down he goes. The pressure getting to Bridgewater. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. A terrific return. 30 yards all in all. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior. Big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But you know, in order to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends, lead runners, anything that you have possible to get in front and keep the ball moving.
And now the defense may be looking out for a pass coming up. They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
3rd and 2, Darnold. Flushed out right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now, give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
Out of bounds and close. The question, was it a touchback? No. They'll say it crossed out at the 2-yard line. Excellent placement, and off that bounce, Charles, I didn't know where it was going to go. It can be an inexact science as to where they place it, but they say the 2-yard line.
Yeah, I don't know how they really determined that. And let's face it, at the end of that play, one side's going to be happy, the other team's going to be unhappy. So what do they do, shorten the hypotenuse? I mean, how do they figure that out? You know that stuff. You're the smart guy.
Oh, that's you, partner. 11 yards and a Cowboy first down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Throwing is Bridgewater. Escaping the pressure right. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter. A lot of time to change things. On second down, Bridgewater again. He rifles one that's intercepted. Zach Cunningham with a pick, and he'll be marked down at the 2-yard line. And that pick just sets him up beautifully right down near the goal line.
I remember being in a defensive meeting back when I was in college, and our defense coordinator says, we're going to call this B.
And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. Derrick Henry, his second touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Texans push further out in front. Extra point right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Joseph now to kick this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
This game over, lol, sorry Cowboys, but you can't give Jalen a 2 TD lead lol.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3-point seeding.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
2 minutes remain in this opening half of Super Bowl 55. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
A first down carry by Elliott. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
From just shy of midfield, Bridgewater nowhere to escape, and he goes down. J.J. Watt, a milestone sack for him as it moves him past Hall of Famer Lawrence Taylor, who finished his career with 132 and a half. Looking for Sanders, and it's intercepted. Zach Cunningham with a pick, and a return across midfield and to the 46-yard line.
You're trailing, you're trying to get points late in half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with. And he took that in one-handed. What a grab. Touchdown, Houston. Will Fuller, 46 yards. And the Texans push further out in front.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Well, look at the clock here. You're inside of a minute. First half hasn't gone that well for you. How are you going to play this drive?
Well, I've been told by my coaches previously that the intelligent approach, go ahead and run out the clock and start over. Don't make any more mistakes. But there's also something to understanding that you got this last drive here. You get the ball to start the second half. Try to go 2 for 1 here. Get some points now and come out of the lock.
And down he goes. The pressure getting to Bridgewater. So we've reached halftime here in Super Bowl 55. As we toss it an hour or so east of here to Orlando, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams ready after the halftime spectacle, and we are back underway in Super Bowl 55. This is taken at his 4. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made.
Well, at least you finally got them boys to a Super Bowl. Emoji happy tears.
On the ground. This time it's Henry. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Again, it's Henry. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
From the gun on third down, here's Darnold. And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a first down. So now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. And they'll try the air now with Darnold. And Austin Seferian-Jenkins has it. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. In on the stop, it was Dorrance Armstrong. This defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now.
Wow, that sucks. That 4-and-out could have been chance to start a comeback.
Still want to move at a nice pace.
Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10. It's rare that a man his size can't at least push forward for a yard, but they stopped him there for nothing.
You're talking about Tiny? You're talking about the little guy back there? That monster. Yeah, you're exactly right. And it takes a group effort to get a guy like that down and not let him find some space. The first guy in, he's got to take one for the team, right? Because he's just waiting there and holding on for everyone else to help him out.
His first catch of this Super Bowl, and it'll be good
Oh my
for
God.
first down.
Right there. 54 Mike. Danny.
They'll try and run for it with Henry. And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. Derrick Henry with his 3rd touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Texans push further out in front. Point after, right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Joseph now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here at half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start. They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Play fake. Bridgewater. He's going to go for a big play down, and that's caught inside the 30. That's a first down and then some, a 32-yard pickup. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Here's Bridgewater. He's going to find Gallup here complete. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 11 yards and a Cowboy first down. From the red zone now, Bridgewater. And his pass incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. This is Elliott. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10. From the gun, Bridgewater. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line.
And that's his 3rd sack, and that ties a Super Bowl record. Makes me think of my old college teammate, Reggie White. He had 3 with the Green Bay Packers in Super Bowl 31. Darnell Dockett of Arizona, Super Bowl 43. And Coney Ealer, 3 sacks for the Panthers against Denver in Super Bowl 50.
All those sacks, they've only been an official record since Super Bowl 17. I know it's believed that L.C. Greenwood unofficially had 4 way back in Super Bowl 10.
Wearing those golden high tops as well.
And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Check out, read, say. Check 3.
On 2nd and 9, Darnold. Buying time to his left. He'll run it. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
1 quarter remains here in the Super Bowl. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. The Texans on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
I try and touch it, but this isn't Madden 3 anymore, haha. If I can make Super Bowl and you do same, I'll just be hoping my team is.
A huge play there for Houston. 56 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. They'll run on 1st down. It's Butler. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. 2 yards that time. A stark contrast from the big chunk on the previous play. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll keep it on the ground. Butler. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. The tally there,
interested to see rematch between y'all.
The Texans on 3rd down. They've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
Under 10. Under 10. 10.
Running from the gun, Johnson. And he'll take this one inside the 10 down to the 8. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
The kick by Joseph is good. And that'll extend this lead now up to 25. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This fielded at the 2. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And after the field goal last time, see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
And that's a Super Bowl record, his 4th sack of the game. I think we got to start thinking seriously about making him the Super Bowl MVP as well.
I think you're right with them leading.
See if he can get redemption for this game. Or if you give another beat
Now
down.
a throw here to his running back. Ezekiel Elliott gonna take it the distance. Past the 20. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott, 84 yards. And the Cowboys get a bit closer. Well, he's used to running it that distance. Here he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who's a complete guy, who can run it and catch it. And we just saw him complete a big-time play for a touchdown.
Fairbairn good with the extra point. And that'll cut the lead down to 18. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you.
There goes Duke Johnson. 20, 10. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Duke Johnson, 75 yards. And the Texans push further out in front. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the first. To throw, Bridgewater. And that's complete to Sanders. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
41's coming.
From the shotgun, it's Bridgewater. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. The coverage may be too good that time as he breaks away for 19 with his legs and a first down. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Bridgewater. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. The Cowboys on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 17. Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they hit the home run last drive. 1 play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. And this defense here going to burn their 2nd timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. They'll run it with Johnson. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the first at the 32. And now here comes the 3rd of their timeouts defensively. So they'll be left with only the 2-minute warning to stop it from here on out. And they'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Emmanuel Sanders, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Over the middle, it's complete. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the 1st.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
That sends them 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down. On 2nd and 12, Bridgewater. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. I think this is what this game's become now. Just go deep, see if we can get something to go our way.
Yeah, not the most creative or most inventive play call there, but not much has worked for them throughout this game. They're almost at a loss about what to dial up.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
We're going to set. Check, Mike, 54. 54.
Down to a knee here as the Texans look to let the clock roll.
We're going to set. Mike's by 4. Mike's by 4. Will, get your swerve on.
Time for this one final knee to put a bow on this title bout. That is likely the final play of this game, and no better feeling, I would imagine, than taking a knee to wrap up the Super Bowl.
Culminates everything. The championship is theirs. And just think, the last play they had in practice before this game began was doing this. Practicing taking a knee and winning a Super Bowl.
And they get to do just that. And the Lone Star State has a new champion. It's the Houston Texans, kings of the Super Bowl. And when this moment comes, I think you look back at all the blood, sweat, and tears, the offseason, the workouts, training camp, week 1, 2, 3, all building up now to say you're a Super Bowl champion. It's worth it.
It certainly is, and rarely do we have a team that hoists a Lombardi trophy that didn't have their share of bumps along the way, didn't have to face some adversity in the journey, and now they get to just enjoy it and revel in it. And all offseason, they'll be signing their autographs with Super Bowl champion underneath it.
And they are the Super Bowl champs. The Lombardi Trophy is theirs, and so are bragging rights for an entire season. What a season it has been. Feels like we have been there every step of the way. Our entire crew doing a wonderful job. Thanks to my broadcast partner, Charles Davis. For all those guys, I'm Brandon Gaudin signing off. We'll talk to you next season right here on EA Sports.